Dames en heren, señoras y señores, welcome to the information seminar for Belgian firms organized by the new cluster of chapters for the Pacific Alliance and Central America, created in Brussels in partnership with BECI Export Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a culmination of many months of hard work. 11 countries whose economies are growing, often at a higher rate than the European country ones.
What I want you to know is that it is now up to the 5 of us to join forces when and where possible and feasible to make people in charge of companies who are looking for expansion outside Belgium aware of an array of new business and investment opportunities that are waiting for them in Chile, in Colombia, in Peru, and in the 8 economies of Central America.
The Alliance for the Pacific. It produces more than half of Latin America's exports. It receives more than 40% of the foreign direct investment. If it were a country, it would be the 5th or 6th most visited in the world. So we are talking about really a big space with lots of people in a very active market.
It is, I dare to say that also, what an economist could dream. It is my case. I am following regional integration in Latin America for almost 5 decades. And it's unfortunately up to 2011 a list of failures. And they work all together very regularly. They are also working with some committee from the parliament, so this is not, there is no obscurantism, this is totally transparent, which is another important feature of this Pacific Alliance.
The program of this new government considers the expansion of trade liberalization, the implementation of new agreements, and the modernization of others, such as the one existing with the European Union, the attraction of investment and export promotion, not only traditional export, but also emerging sectors and small and medium enterprise. We will continue to promote the Pacific Alliance, constituted during the President Piñera's first period of government, which has strengthened as a great reference for regional integration.
Chile's ratings are supported by the low level of fiscal debt, political stability, and very flexible and strong economy. All this year, we have been successful in showing the world that we are a stable, transparent, and very competitive country, commercial opening, and a stable macroeconomic and financial environment.
What are the main activities of Group Magiels? It's basically a copy of what we do here in Belgium and Western Europe. We are active in real estate, environmental activities, real estate industrial, so we build big halls here in Belgium, and renewable energy, solar, wind. That is what we do in Belgium, and that is what we copied in 1997 in Chile.
The growth in Colombia comes from private consumption and private investment. So the gross fixed capital formation, that is investment as a percentage of GDP, it's around 30%. And if you take a look of where this investment comes, it comes from the private sector in a 60%.
I think basically chambers of commerce, international chambers of commerce, their first objective is basically to connect regions in terms of businesses and business people. And that is exactly what they are to do. Now, if you want to achieve that, you also need, as a successful result will be trade flows, you need gates, you need doors. Antwerp is such a gate.
During this first semester of 2018, Costa Rica is pro tempore presidency, and it is working on these priorities: the strengthening of the free trade zone, Central American Customs Union, and improvement of the common market. To do so, First, we support the fulfillment of the pending commitments of the Protocol of Incorporation of Panama to the subsystem of economic integration.
The last 2 years there was a decline, a general decline, very much related to raw material prices all over the world, which affect many of our countries. But since 2017, we have picked up again the process of growing in the Peruvian economy. As we are expecting now, there's a recovery in the prices of commodities in the world, and this is very good for the expansion of the countries of the Pacific Alliance.
Lima now is considered the center of the gastronomy capital in Latin America. The gastronomy is the driving force of our silent revolution that we have been made with the pots and the ingredients that we call the superfood of Peru. The gastronomy is bringing us investors, is bringing us tourism, investor and trade, because they are buying our superfood biodiversity.
We are an NGO, but we are a little bit of an alien in the NGO world because we are also a company. We use business as a force of good. As Mr. Gutierrez said, Peru has had poverty before and it's growing very fast, becoming less and less poor. We came to Peru to invest in alleviating poverty, and we ended up doing business there. We invested in quinoa. We are seeing that this help is really helping them alleviate their poverty.
And now I will give the floor to Peter Lecren, Secretary of State of Foreign Trade. You will rate this new cluster at the Chamber of Commerce here located.
It is a real relief to discuss trade, and I would say free trade, at this time when the whole world is only talking about trade wars. And that is what we are talking about. We're not talking about free trade, but we are talking about trade wars. And protectionist measures are indeed emerging in several places all around the world, not only in Europe and not only in the United States, but they are sometimes standing in the way of a strong common vision amongst partner countries.
Ustedes pueden contar con mi apoyo total, siempre que sea posible. Además, seguiré de muy cerca este concepto prometedor e innovador. Aprovechemos el impulso creado al unir fuerzas y fortalecer los lazos. Lo que puedo decir es felicidades, un brindis y congratulations and cheers. Thank you very much.